I dated this guy named Richard. He was 6 years older than me, and I followed him basically like a little puppy wherever he went. I thought he was the hottest thing in town, and so did he, actually. And I felt honored when he chose me to be his girlfriend. I felt honored. And he was one of those guys who he dressed, like he was trying to look really cool, slick back hair, leather jacket, and he liked being a bad boy. And he wasn't afraid to show that off. And he bought me a gun. He showed me how to use it. Target practice. I never liked guns. I've always hated guns, and I just went along with it because I loved him. And I felt like I would do anything for him. So we came up with this plan because we needed money. And we came up with this plan to rob a liquor store. And I was scared, but he had assured me that he's done it before, gotten away with it. We had guns, we had all the power, he said. We have the power. Nothing's gonna go wrong. It was a Thursday. I think it was a Thursday. And something did go terribly wrong. We held up the place, and the owner's son was there, and we didn't actually see him right away when we first went in. We drew our guns, pointed them at the owner's head, and this man was shaking. He was so afraid, he was shaking, and his eyes were darting back and forth. He was sweating. He was scared. He was talking rapidly, and we wanted the money. We kept telling him to give us the money, and he seemed frozen like he didn't know what to do, and like his mind had just gone blank, and he was just babbling stuff out of his mouth, and his son just popped up out of nowhere. His 8-year-old son just popped up. Like, what was he doing there? What was he even doing there? Richard shot him. He shot an 8-year-old boy in the face. I screamed. I screamed at the top of my lungs. And to see the way that the father reacted, I can't really describe it. It was the worst. It was the worst thing ever. And he watched his little boy. He watched his little boy's face get blown off. Blown off his body, pretty much. It was the most horrific thing I've ever seen. And I looked over at Richard, and he was just going for the money. He was frustrated, and he shot the kid and was just trying to open the register. And he kept demanding that the guy open his register when he was over his dead kid. Crying, screaming, hollering. And we just ended up giving up and running out of there. That wasn't okay. I'm a good person. I'm a good person. And I have to tell myself this all the time. Because I'm not always sure. I'm not always sure